Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is a pre-recorded stream. I am experimenting with this stuff. But I wanted to do this too because I feel like it would be a better way of presenting what I'm going to present today. Today is March 22nd, 2023. Today is Teresa Halbach's birthday. She is the victim in the crime that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey were convicted of 2006. I say convicted because we all know and believe that Stephen and Brendan are obviously innocent, and excuse me for yawning. It's a really hard. It's really touchy and hard because Teresa is just as much as a part of this as Brendan and Stephen. It's hard because a lot of us who support Brendan and Stephen think about Teresa every day. We think about what life she could have had. She seemed like she was a very nice, sweet, wonderful, caring human being who gave so much to her community and to the world, and her life was cut very short, tragically. And unfortunately, due to that, the police and the law enforcement and all that were able to use that to convict Stephen and Brendan. And it's hard because a lot of us are here for Stephen and Brendan, but we can't forget Teresa in all of this either. I think about her all the time. I think about her basically every day. As much as I think about Brendan, I think about Teresa. I think about her family and what they could be going through, and I think how hard it must be to have a loved one who was murdered or died. We don't really know how she died, to be honest with you, but because the story, Brendan's narrative, is false. But yeah, I think about her all the time and the life she could have lived. And anyway, so we did this live back in 2022, I believe, on October, on the day that they claimed she died. And I thought it was very nice and respectful live that we did. We showed about Teresa, who she was as a person, and what we know about her. Obviously, we never knew her or met her, but from what we could tell, she seemed like a very wonderful person that the world was robbed of. So without further ado, please enjoy, and please pray for Teresa that eventually we find the right killer. The killer of her is still out there. Brendan and Stephen did not do this. Somebody else did. And right now they are out there still and living their lives like it's nothing. And I truly believe that Teresa needs justice just as much as Brendan and Stephen do. So, thank you, everybody.
fighting for me and keep showing your love and support.
Hi. Sorry, I'm out of breath. My lovable puppy took off with my mom's shoe just as I pressed live. So I had to chase her down, grab it, and then make it back over here. But, hello everybody. Happy Halloween! I wanted to come live tonight, because, hey Jazz Naz. I wanted to come live tonight because, tonight, well, first I want to say a disclaimer. There is no official proof as to when Teresa Hallback actually died. There's nothing, we just know she went, we presume she was reported missing, actually sometime in November, but the last time her whereabouts was October 31st. So it's safe to say we honestly don't know when exactly she died or anything like that. We just know that today's the day she went missing in 2005. So I just wanted to put that out there. When I do wish, for her to rest in peace. Obviously, I hope the only way that that's going to be accomplished is if we find the real killers of her, and then she can fully rest in peace. But yeah, she did. I just wanted to put that out there. I don't think necessarily she died tonight on this night. I just think this is the last time her whereabouts were known by anybody but the killer. Excuse me. Hey, Caroline. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that. But I kind of wanted to just, I wanted to talk a little bit about her because Brendan and Steven, I believe, are the victims of, it's right here. Brendan and Steven, I believe, are the victims of this, because it's obviously, I think Teresa Hallback, though, was the ultimate victim in the sense that she lost her life. Like, she completely lost her life. There's no coming back from that. Of course, there's theories out there that she could be still alive, but I personally believe she's gone. And I respect the fact that her family and friends believe she's gone. She doesn't, to me personally, she doesn't seem like the type of person that would pretend to be. That's neither here nor there. But she is in this whole crazy scheme. She is the ultimate victim in this. She lost her life. She's no longer here. This was the wanted poster. Yeah, if you believe that, I don't believe that's her. The Teresa St. Clair theory. I don't believe in that one. Not in the least bit. But to each their own. Like I said, I respect other people's opinions in the sense. I just don't believe that's really her. I think to me, it's been proven it's not her. But, I don't know. Anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. But this was her missing poster that was made. It's a little cut off. The last known or missing was 10/31/2005. Last seen Monday, October 31st, 2005, Manitowoc area. She was driving a 1999 dark green RAV4 license plate number. Yeah. It's very odd how her family acts, Caroline. I'm not going to lie, it is very odd. But I don't know. everybody's different and everybody's families are different. So it's really hard for me to say like, oh, well, something they're involved because of the way they're acting per se, because that could just be how their family is, you know. Um, I mean, I wouldn't be able to just sit there quietly in the courtroom like they did, but then again, they were kind of told to do that if you want to be a part of, you know, everybody had to sit there and be quiet. I don't know. It's very. The only thing I could say is that the way her brother talked about like when one of the reporters asked him, what would you think if, or what would happen if Teresa Halbach came back? And this was in the middle of the trial, and he made a comment like, well, that would really mess things up, wouldn't it? And it's just that comment alone. Everything else, I'm just like, you know, I don't know. But that comment alone is the one that kind of threw me off a bit. But anyway, here's the ad, I believe, or the ad. Yeah, the ad. Is that what we were going to call it? The ad for the award that was created. I believe Mark Hognott created the poster for the thingamajig, the billboard. That's the word I'm looking for. Billboard. I believe Mark Hognott created the billboard. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. Right. Well, you know, I will give them benefit of the doubt, Caroline. When Brendan has stated when he gets out of prison, he doesn't want to watch Making a Murderer because, you know, he's lived through it. So why watch it? So I kind of understand that. I guess if it was my sister, well, I'm one of those people, I'm just so curious though that I would definitely watch it if it was my family member, but that might be really triggering for them to rewatch it, you know? I don't know. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt in that sense of why wouldn't they? And we don't know if they watched it or not. They could have watched it for all we know. Sorry, I wanted to grab a pic real quick. I just thought of this. I wanted to grab a picture of Caroline was there. You saw it in person, Caroline. The big giant billboard sign that Mark Hognott brought or had us or sent to Sandy, I think, or something like that. It was huge. So let me see if I can actually find it real quick, and then I will. I am unprepared. I tried to be prepared this time. I actually got a bunch of pictures, and then I'm like, wait, hold a minute. Let me see if I can get that picture of the huge billboard. Here's one, kind of. Let me just save this picture. So I also have a news article I want to read that I found on Teresa that I thought would be nice to read. So this is just to gain perspective on how big this thing is. So I'm going to show these photos. These are really great photos. I believe actually Caroline took them. So let's see. All right. Right, yeah. Even he claims he hasn't. Like I said, they've claimed they haven't seen making a murder. I don't know if they actually have, you know. But so this is the billboard sign, or this is the printout, and let me actually see if I can switch gears here and bring up. Oh, what happened? Did I click out of the wrong one? Figures. Nope, I didn't. I'm just waiting for it to come up. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. Sorry, hold on. But yeah, they claim that they haven't watched it. We all know they could have watched it. Here we go. Yeah, so the sign was huge, and it took a bunch of people to lift it up, and it was over the courtroom stairs. Yeah, I had to do something. I had to exit out of one window to open up another window, so I'm sorry, guys. 1 second more longer, and there we go. Now you should be able to see it. Right, I agree with you, Caroline. He already knows that they're two innocent men locked up. But here's the actual sign in its largeness. As you can see, it's covering the steps. If you look carefully, you can kind of see, here, let me see if I can. You can kind of see these people holding it up. There's the guardrail right there. So it's actually, that's what's keeping that part up. And yeah, it was huge. Huge, huge, huge. And it was quite powerful, but pulling it out and then having everybody hold it and then just kind of looking at it and just it was a very powerful symbolization of kind of what we're trying to do is try to find the real killer of Teresa Ballbach. Like, I know I'm also, I'm obviously, I advocate for Brendan and I want Brendan to go home, but a woman died and the real killer is out there, yeah, see, here's all of us standing next to it, and it's kind of, so it would be taller, but because it's being kind of like laid almost down up against the steps, it looks kind of more shorter than it, but it's actually really tall if you really think about it. But yeah, by the way, here's us. Oh, aren't we cool? Aren't we awesome right here? Yeah, I love this. This is awesome. But anyway, right, it is sad for Teresa. Because like I said, Brendan and Steven lost their life. Absolutely they did. And they are victims in this. And I even go as far as to say their families are, like Steven's kids, when he got out, he was trying to restart a relationship with them and try to get back into, being a part of their lives, and he was trying to start another life with another person. I mean, none of us are really Jody fans, but we could all agree that I think that they did care about each other. And he lost it all again when he went back in, and then Brendan, oh my gosh, Brendan, he was just a kid. He was just 16 years old, and He never had a chance at anything, you know. So you know they're victims too. But Teresa, you know, she lost her life, and it's sad to me that the state of Wisconsin is okay with sending innocent people to prison and keeping them in prison, and two, they're okay with people going around killing women, you know, and then continuing to do that and not stopping them. You know, we can look back at even at the Gregory Allen thing with Stephen, you know, with his first conviction. Gregory Allen was out there doing all this stuff. They knew it was Gregory Allen. Yet they kept Stephen in prison for a crime that he didn't commit, and Gregory Allen was out there still doing it. I mean, that's how much Wisconsin cares about its own people. If you think about it. But yeah, I want to read something that I got from a website. Here's the famous rap picture, by the way. There's Teresa and her friends. And then here's her casually sitting. All right, I'm going to read something from a news article that I found. There's two, actually, I want to read. They're probably in the same thing, same grain of it. But I don't agree necessarily with a lot of the first news article. The first news article is Teresa Halbach, real victim of making a murderer. And like I said, I don't agree with that per se. I do think that she is, you know, obviously I call it the ultimate victim because, like I said, she lost her life completely and there's no way she's coming back from that. Like, there's no do-over. There's no, like, Brendan and Stephen can be free and still have a chance at life, right? But Teresa can't. So I consider her the ultimate victim in this. But I do think that Stephen and Brendan are also victims. So I don't agree with the article title, I should say. But I will share my source. So, and I'm only going to read parts of this. I'm not going to read the whole thing because, like I said, I don't necessarily. But I wanted to give slightly an insight into who Teresa Halbach was. That's basically what I'm trying to do right now. Okay. So I'm going to scroll to this part where it says, who was Teresa Halbach? At the time of her death, Teresa Marie Halbach was a 25-year-old photographer from Wisconsin. Born in 1980, she grew up on a dairy farm near a town called Green Bay. She had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. During college, Teresa traveled to Mexico and Spain, as well as studied abroad in Australia, where she learned to scuba dive. When she graduated from college, the University of Wisconsin, she originally took a job as a photographer in Green Bay, although she moved back down to live next to her parents' farm. Her favorite song to sing, according to her ex-boyfriend Ryan, was Picture by Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock. What did her friends say about her? She's a very energetic, spontaneous person. Kelly Pitson, a friend since preschool. We were always up to something. It took a lot to scare her. She was very outgoing, very brave person. She was friendly to everybody. Ryan Hilgast, her old boyfriend. Photography was her life. She could do anything with a camera. I just want to also point out that Ryan Hilgast is in this news article. This was written back in 2016, which is interesting to me because I'm very much a Ryan did it. So it's funny to see Ryan, not haha funny, but kind of like makes you think. To see Ryan kind of talk in this about Teresa. person that, yeah. But anyway, yeah, so she was actually a well-traveled person, and she, you know, she drove, traveled to, what is it, Mexico, Spain, and Australia. Well, that's pretty awesome and well accomplished for somebody from, you know, a small dairy farm. Yeah, she had so much in life to like. She could have accomplished so much more. And I'm one of those people. And this might be, I don't know, but like I'm one of those people who believe that everything happens for a reason. And I'm not saying that people die for a reason or get murdered brutally for a reason. But I do think that, in a sense, that with what's happening with, like, let's say Brendan's case, Brendan's changing the world in the sense of he's bringing awareness to a problem that a lot of people didn't know there was a problem. And I hope that Teresa's case does the same when it comes to missing persons cases, when it comes to cases like this where, you know, they rather would throw innocent people in prison rather than get it right. Like, I hope something good comes from her story of this, you know, just like with Brendan's. I've mentioned that to Brendan here and there, you know, like I hate to say it like that because like I said, it's just when you're the one going through it, like, great, you know, but like, if it wasn't, you know, right now Brendan is changing the world. He is bringing awareness. He made his story, helped create 3 new laws in 3 different states, completely different states, that looked at his story and said, wow, we cannot let this happen again. And that's pretty powerful. And I hope the same for Teresa. That's all I really, you know, hope for. Here's the memorial. It looks like they built for her. I believe she had I don't want to say a closed casket. I don't think they had a casket. I think this was just like a memorial thing, because that's another debate with the bones situation. They claim they found her bones, but I don't think those are really her bones. Not saying, you know, they could be, but yeah. I think this was what her, like, memorial or remembrance or whatever. Here's a news headline remembering Teresa Halbach with this pretty cool picture of her, nice picture of her with, yeah, on some sort of scrapbook. Oh, is that the end of my pictures? Yeah, so we'll go back. Yeah, here's what Jasna says, the self-driving RAV. Is it blue or is it green? Oh boy. Hey Jeff, thank you, Jeff. There's some awesome people right here. With an awesome sign. There's another view of it. And here's a family photo. I debated actually putting this picture up just because I'm kind of like the one with her friends, but you know, it's already out there on the internet. So this is her mom, and this is actually her stepdad. slash uncle. Then here are her two brothers. I know this is Mike, and I cannot remember the other brother. And then these are her sisters, and I'm not sure of their names either. But I believe these two are offspring of these two, and then her and her brothers are from her dad, their dad, who died. So it's just kind of, yeah, this is the family. You can see there's a puppy. This looks like their farm. They're wearing they're probably wearing their farm. Oh, that's Green Bay Packers. Is that Green Bay Packer green, or is that their logo for their farm? I don't know. But yeah, this was their family photo. Here's a famous picture that we see a lot when we look up news articles of her. This is actually my favorite photo of her. If I had to choose a favorite photo, it just looks so real, and like so much of her is in it. You know, like you can tell just from her, there's a real smile on her face. Her eyes are happy. Yeah, isn't that Packers shirts? They look like football shirts, but I'm not a sports person, so I don't know. But I did recognize the G on it. So I actually have a funny story about the Green Bay Packers and my lack of knowledge in that, but now's not the time nor the place for it. But yeah, this is one of my favorite photos of her. Like I would, if I was picking out photos for a memorial or something, this is a photo I would use. It just looks so authentic and nice, and her, you can just feel her energy coming off of it. I just love it. She seemed like, to me, like one of the coolest people you could possibly hang out with. You know what I mean? Like, is that it? Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, she just seemed like a really authentically nice, sweet person. But yeah, yeah, it looked like the logo, doesn't it? So yeah, that probably is a Green Bay Packers shirt. But yeah, 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 the big G. I'm sure she was. Like a lot of times when people are talking about her, like as research story, and like when people are like, yeah, we heard this, we heard that, or here's a story, there's a story. I just think she sounds like an amazing person that I would have wanted to hang out with back then. You know, like she just seemed like she just was like fun. I know a lot of people looked up to her, like a lot of especially younger girls, because I think she helped volunteer like as a coach for the volleyball girls team, and all the girls loved her and thought she was cool. And I believe I remember reading that in one of her journals. There's journals that are out there. But yeah, there's her and her camera in the famous Rav. And yeah, so I'm going to freeze. There we go. Okay. We'll leave it on this one. Right. Yeah. You know, I'm very much a vibe person. So like if somebody seems like really really, like, I want to say, this is just a lack of vocabulary on my part, but like if I was like to walk up to my call block, I'd be like, he's too adulty for me. Like he's like one of those adult people, you know, like he wears the suit and the tie and he just looks like he's unrelatable. But Teresa just seemed like a really like nice, down to earth person who you could have like a normal or weird or funny or anything kind of conversation with her, and she would totally be okay. You know, like she would just like talk back and not. I think it's also she doesn't look like she would judge you for it. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to do this live, I guess, because I just wanted, you know, she's the main Brendan's a big reason why I'm in this, obviously, because, you know, he's a friend of mine. I care about him as a friend. I want to see him go home, absolutely. But, you know, watching Making a Murderer and knowing that this person lost their life and Wisconsin was okay with not finding her real killer, like that bothers, as a woman, you know, from a woman's perspective, that bothers me a lot. That they would basically let a woman not have justice for her death just to get back at some dude and his nephew. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty. And you got this guy or girl or whomever, we don't know, right? Some of us have an idea, but, you know, we have this mystery person out there who did this to Teresa, who is very much likely doing it again and again and again, and God knows how many more victims, not only in Wisconsin, but all over the world, there could be. And that just doesn't, like, sit right with me. It's just, it's awful. And Teresa, if anything, you know, not only do Brendan and Stephen need to go home, but Teresa, her family needs more closure. Her story needs more of an ending than just what happened. You know, she needs justice just as much as Brendan and Stephen do. And, you know, we don't really know what's going on with the Hallback family. We just know publicly what they said, and they haven't said anything. But God only knows what they really think, you know? And you don't know, they could be sitting there thinking, wow, like, our daughter was murdered, and it's possible that these other two dudes didn't do it, and the guy's still out there. Like, I don't know. It's just a crazy thought that, I mean, it could be possible that they think that. I don't know if that's for true, but like I said, publicly they've stated that they're pretty confident that it's Brendan Stephen. But knowing what we know now and what we've been finding out, we don't know if the corruption runs so deep in the area that even they're too afraid to speak up. But that's just my opinion, for what it's worth. I'm trying to get to this other news article, but it keeps doing some weird things because of ads, so I may not be able to get to it, but I think it's the same thing. Oh, see, yeah, okay, I got it now. It says, Teresa Hallback was more than just a victim of a heinous crime. The Calumet County native was an avid traveler, passionate photographer whose life was taken too soon. Raised on her family's dairy farm in a rural Calumet County, Hallback graduated from Hilbert High School and headed off to the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. She was an honor student at YWGB, earning her degree in 2002. She was able to travel extensively through Mexico and Spain and scuba diving off of Australia's Great Barrier Reef. After graduation, she worked as a portrait photographer at a Green Bay studio and did occasional assignments for Auto Trader magazine. And then the rest is about her. It says that she disappeared after. Said that she disappeared after she went to the Avery's property, but that's not known fact. Some people think she disappeared after Zippers, and it's possible. Like I said, we don't know. But there's the news article in case anybody wants to read it also. But yeah. I guess that's all I really wanted to say. Thank you all for joining me. And yeah, that's, if it's not for Brendan and Stephen to be a motivation for Wisconsin and Governor Evers to do the right thing, it should be for Teresa. Like, if anything, Teresa's disappearance and death deserves to have a reopened reinvestigation, a proper investigation, not one that was basically thrown together just to make sure that Brendan and Stephen get thrown in prison, like an actual investigation. She deserves that. And I think it would be a powerful statement if Governor Evers or Josh Call, the Attorney General, actually, stood up for the right thing and said, we need to protect the women in our state, everybody in our state, and it's within our best interest to do that. Of course, it may not, obviously, that's in a perfect world. Well, in a perfect world, she never would have been murdered, but yeah. Just another reminder of what we're fighting for. But yeah, I hope everyone has a good night. I'm probably going to be getting off here, and I'm probably going to light a candle for Teresa and say a prayer for her and for this case and for Brendan and Stephen. And, I hope everyone does the same on some or whatever extent of what you feel you should do. And this is still valid. The reward fund to find the real killer. A lot of people say that it's not enough money for someone to come forward. I see neither here nor there, but it is something to spread around and hope that somebody who knows what happened to Teresa will do the right thing and to call the tip line and make a tip and bring Teresa Halbach real justice and free 2 innocent men from prison. So, yep, that's all I have. So like I said, I hope everyone has a good night, and I'll talk to you guys later.